Hey everybody, Matumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena. And today we have a fun deck for you, and again, we are in the midst of Decktember, and I am so thankful that Hollowed One decided to submit this deck. This is a cool looking deck. I played a deck similar to this back when Kaladesh was actually legal in Standard, so I'm actually looking pretty forward to pulling this combo off again, potentially multiple times. So real quick though, I want to do some explaining as we typically do. If you're not familiar with what Decktember is our way of saying thank you to each and every one of you for helping grow the channel. This channel would not be where it was if it wasn't for each and every one of you coming back every day to watch the content that I make. So we are playing viewer submitted decks, and we are playing a few games with your deck as is, and then after a few games we're going to review the deck, talk about what we thought about some of the cards in the deck, and then make some changes, and then play some more games, and then just talk about the whole thing in general in the wrap up. So again, there are still plenty of days left in Decktember. So if you want to be considered for a Decktember deck and maybe have your deck featured, as we do pull a random deck every day, please join the Discord, head into the Decktember channel within the Discord channel, and then check the pin post for the template on how to submit your deck. And that's all you need to do. And maybe your deck can be featured in one of our upcoming Decktember videos. And also, if you like the content, like the channel, the video, the Decktember theme, and if you're not yet subscribed, or even if you're not subscribed, just like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links down below. Anything you can do to help grow the channel would be amazing of you. So with that being said, let's hop right into today's deck. And we are playing ROFL Thopter. So our friend Hollowed One didn't actually put a deck list for this, so we decided to name it ROFL Thopter. So this deck actually focuses on making an infinite, literally yes, an infinite number of Thopters, thanks to Whirler Virtuoso. So Whirler Virtuoso is a 3-mana card from Kaladesh. Whenever it comes into play, you get 3 energy, and then you can pay 3 energy to create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact token with flying. So how do we get an infinite number of these? Well, we need Decoction module, and then we need some other things. We can either have 3 Decoction modules in play. So Decoction module says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. So if we have 3 of these, every time we spend 3 energy to make a 1/1 flyer, we're going to get 3 energy back. We also can copy the Decoction module with Sculpting Steel. So it's like we're playing 8 of these. Or we could potentially have Panharmonicons in play, which also do the same thing. So this says if an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this is an artifact and a creature in regards to the Thopters. So when Whirler Virtuoso enters, if we have a Panharmonicon in play, we're going to get 6 energy. And then when we make a Thopter, we're going to get an energy that's going to trigger an additional time because of Panharmonicon. We're going to get 2 energy, and then if we have an additional one of these, we're actually generating infinite energy. Or if we have a Sculpting Steel that's copied this, so the same thing. If we have 2 of these in play with the Panharmonicon, we're going to be able to go infinite. So basically, any combination of 3 of these will allow us to make infinite creatures. But there are some other ways to win. I mean, we still want to make infinite Thopters, but we can't really attack with those Thopters because they don't have haste. So typically this is something we'd want to do at the end of our opponent's turn. Not necessarily show them that we have an infinite combo. We just play the Whirler Virtuoso maybe, and then say go. And then at the end of their turn, we make a whole bunch of Thopters so we can attack on our turn. Or if we do want to try to kill them on our turn, we can either play Reckless Fireweaver or Terror of the Peaks. So Reckless Fireweaver says whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. So these are artifacts. So anytime one of these comes into play, we're going to be pinging them for 1. Terror of the Peaks kind of says the same thing. It says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So we can make a creature, deal a damage. And this, the only difference really is this deals damage to opponents. This is targeted damage. So if we need to kill creatures, we can actually kill creatures or planeswalkers with this. So that is the difference there. This deck also features just a bunch of different ways to either, stall the board out with removal or to draw cards so we can get our combo pieces. We have 2 copies of Opt, again, to kind of smooth out our draws. We get to scry 1 and draw a card for 1 mana. A couple copies of Witching Well. We get to scry 2 when this comes into play. And then if we're not doing anything on turn 4, we can actually sacrifice this for 4 mana to draw 2 cards. We have a couple Hopes of Girper. This could potentially help with our combo. It's a 1/1 flyer. We could sacrifice it if we dealt damage with this to prevent our opponent from casting spells until our next turn. So we basically like time walk them. They can only play a land on their turn. We have a couple copies of Search for Iskanta. This is going to allow us to, again, smooth out our draws every turn. And then once this flips, when we have 7 cards in our graveyard, we can actually start getting some really sick card advantage with this. Now, what else do we have? We have 4 copies of Fire Prophecy. This is a good removal for creatures. It deals 3 damage. And then if we want to, we can put a card from our hand on the bottom of our library and draw a card. So really, really good synergy there. Again, because we are focusing on trying to get the combo out. The Decoction modules with the Whirler Virtuoso. We have 2 copies of Storm's Wrath. Again, this is like a mass removal spell just in case we need it. And then last but not least, we have 4 copies of Drawn from Dreams. So Drawn from Dreams is going to let us look at the top 7 cards of our library. This is for 4 mana, and then put 2 of them into our hand and the rest in the bottom of our library. So we're going to look at 7 cards and probably put the 2 combo pieces that we need into our hand. So that is the deck. 22 land to finish it out. We do have 1 copy of Inventor's Fair. Again, this is going to allow us to search for artifacts or gain life if we have 3 in play. And then Ether Hub allows us for energy, and then the rest we just have blue-red land there. So again, thank you so much. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. I'm going to thank everybody that submits a deck, but Hollowed One, thank you so much for sending this deck over. And again, if you want to be featured for Decktember, join the Discord, hop down to the Decktember channel, and find the template in the pin post and submit your deck. And maybe your deck will be tomorrow's deck. Who knows? But let's, in the meantime, let's just hop into the gameplay and see what happens with this sweet ROFL Thopter infinite Thopter token deck. So, all right, see you guys in a few. All right, it's time for some ROFL Thopter. This should be a fun game, or a fun deck. This is a sort of combination deck or combo deck that we played back in Standard a long time ago when Kaladesh was legal. Obviously, we played some different cards. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. This seems pretty fine. All right, just gonna worry them a little bit by playing a spell in response to their spell. Spire Bluff Canal seems pretty good. So Renowned Weaponsmith makes a bunch of mana. I guess we're just going to take the turn here. Oh, perfect. Okay. We don't want them having all the mana right now. Guardian Idol's fine. Okay, they're probably just going to play a replacement one. Oh, not even. Not even. Could copy that, but obviously we're not going to. So if they're playing an Emery deck, this Decoction module actually kind of keeps Emery at bay because we can keep bouncing it. Oh no, it's only a creature that we control. Never mind. Ignore my thoughts there. This generates 5 energy. We're going to make a lot of Thopters next turn. There are going to be a lot of triggers. Alright, Forsaken Monument. Of course. Of course you're a Forsaken Monument deck. Alright, the end at 5, because we want to leave 3 energy up. This is actually a pretty decent draw. Not the best draw. Decent nonetheless. So hitting them for 2, 5, 8 really doesn't do much. I'd rather just go get some cards. Potentially. And we still actually get to hit them for a bunch. And we get some more energy. Really, it's going to depend on what they have, right? Hedron Archive is fine, right? They're just gaining life? I mean, 3, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 mana. Giltnest Crane is fine as well. Paradox Engine kind of sucks. They can cast it right now, too. So, they need an opt in order to reset. They don't have one. We're pretty good here. We're going to go infinite. We're going to ROFL Thopter. Thank you for tapping that. No, we're just gonna do the thing. All right, let's go. Let's do all the things, all the clicking. All the clicking. Oh yes, ROFL Thopter. I don't think they see it yet, right? Oh, there we go. Chambek, thank you for being a good sport and letting us live out most of that. But all right, on to game 2. All right, so we have successfully ROFL Thoptered one time out of one attempt. So Sean 22, welcome to the game. All right, so we are on a Lurrus deck. We have removal. We don't have any blue mana, but we have all of our Decoction modules, technically. And we have 2 removal spells. I think we have to keep this, right? because we have removal. This is not a good hand. This is not something that we would technically keep, but sometimes you have to keep your hands based on what you think your opponents are playing, and if they're playing the Aura's version of Luris, we have, hopefully, oh no, they're playing the, alright, they're going to get rid of the Fire Prophecies. That would be the smart play. Oh, maybe they just see the combo and... Oh, they do. They're just going to attack our combo, it looks like. Roxa. Get rid of one of these. We need to land one of these, obviously. It's a little more important. If they reanimate Croxa, we're just going to get rid of the Drawn from Dreams. I don't think their deck plays a Braid, does it? I mean, we say it out loud, and now it's probably going to come to fruition, but... Again, we're just trying to do what they do. Or not what they do, but we're trying to erase what they do. Alright, so again, we have... Potentially have everything set up. We just need to draw a Whirler. So, they don't have enough cards currently to get Croxa back. Oh, no, yes, they do. Alright. It's a race. It is a race. Alright, well... Discard the Panharmonicon. They really don't have anything to lure us back. Okay. All right. Are they going to recast Croxa? All right, well... This is pretty much our only draw, right? 9, 10. So if they have one of their black-red split cards, we are dead. Maybe they don't see the line. I think they do. Oh. We're at 2. Oh, and they just cast Croxa from the graveyard and we're dead. Alright, well, we managed to assemble the combo, but not the creature part of the combo, just the Decoction module part of the combo. So, alright, Sean, good game. Good game. Yeah, so I don't know how good that hand would have been against the mono-white version of the deck, or the white-blue Aura's version of Luris. But again, we had to give it a shot. I mean, we were able to set up our Decoction modules, so it was really just a matter of, did we top deck the Whirler Virtuoso? And we did not, so. Do we keep this? Removal. Look at the sleeves. They're playing elves? I like to guess what based on what they're playing. So if they're playing elves, this is a deep. Alright, we're going to do it again. We're going to keep based on what we think they're playing. It's not elves. I'm going to put back the Panharmonic on here. More blue is fine. Don't really need a lot of red. I don't want to just run this out to get it killed. I wonder if they're on mono black devotion, but with green for fight. That's what my gut is telling me right now. No, but it is a fight deck. Let's do it again. I don't want another Whirler Virtuoso right now. I really just want to get to the Decoction modules. I don't want any more removal because we're getting to the point where this is going to potentially be Phyrexian Obliterator, I feel like. Okay, so... All right, so okay, well that's good at least for the sake. So we literally drew all 4 of these pathways. It's kind of ridiculous. Two on each. Yeah, I have to just play around the fact that they probably don't have 2 Maelstrom Pulses in their hand. If they do, they just get us really good. Yep. So we're at 8. We get to Whirler Virtuoso and then keep mana back up to... This is a good draw. So we actually now get to keep mana up to bounce the Whirler Virtuoso if needed. But yeah, the Inventor's Fair was a really great draw because it's going to give us the ability to go search out a 3rd Decoction module. So what are they thinking about? Oh, they're fighting. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, let me do some token making. Let's do some token making. Jinx, what are you doing over there? You are running around like a crazy girl. Neither one of these has trample, right? You can do some crazy shenanigans. Okay. So that really doesn't do anything. Oh, Terror of the Peaks is a great draw. So want to kill his Fiend Artisan. Obviously, we don't have enough to do anything to our opponent. Oh, and they're just going to scoop it up after that. Well, Doko, it was a great game. Thank you for playing. I do like your deck. Obviously, we've played a deck similar to that, and that deck is a lot of fun. So I'm glad that we got to play against you. But let's talk about this deck. All right, everybody, welcome to the tune-up here. Let's talk about first the deck as a whole. The deck is great. The deck is a lot of fun. The combo obviously works. There's a lot of clicking you have to do, but we managed to go 2-1 with this deck with the original build. Now, there are some cards in here that we don't necessarily need, you know, at first glance, and even with playing some of those, I don't really think that we need the Hope of Girapers. Just because I just really don't think that it's a card that's needed in this deck. The reason for that being is it's such a fragile card, right? It's legendary, obviously. We're only playing 2 of them, and again, it's a 1/1 flyer for 1 mana, but again, it's really fragile. You almost want to use it if you get a hit in with it immediately. So if you drop it on turn 1. You are going to attack with it on turn 2 if it lives. And then if you don't use it and they get rid of it at that point, then, you know, was it really worth it? But then at the same time, you have to think, okay, well, they did use a removal spell on this as opposed to something else. So there is that. Now, also, the deck here with Terror of the Peaks. I think Terror of the Peaks, again, is a great card. But in this deck, Reckless Fireweaver essentially does the exact same thing, but for 3 less mana. So with it being 3 less mana, I think whenever we go here in a few to actually start rebuilding our deck, I'm probably most likely going to just put in 4 Reckless Fireweavers as opposed to the Terror of the Peaks. Now, in doing that, I do want to highlight that will actually bring our mana curve down. So there will be that. So we may be able to play less lands depending on how many this deck is playing. But again, at first glance, though, this deck looks to be playing 22 land already with 2 Search for Escantas. So yeah, but again, if we're able to get down Decoction modules and any combination of Sculpting Steels, Panharmonicons, if we have basically 3 of those in play, we're going to win. And that's really not a lot to ask for, but it kind of is at the same time. So this is a pretty heavily combo-centric deck. There's a lot of cards that we need, but at the same time, once we get them, the combo is actually really easy to pull off because it's just a lot of click, make a guy, click, make a guy, click, make a guy, and then obviously click, OK for all the triggers to happen. So with that being said, yeah, we're gonna run some numbers. We're probably gonna cut some of the other cards in the deck as well. And I do understand why some of the other cards are in this deck, but we're here to make some improvements, hopefully. So let's see what we can do in regards to this deck, and we're gonna hop in our time machine. We will be right back here in just a few seconds. All right, so let's talk about ROFL Thopter version 2.0. Now, again, we are focusing more on the combo aspect of this deck, and we are trying to get as many ways to assemble this combo as possible. So obviously looking at this list, some of the cards are the same, some of the numbers are the same, but we do have, I feel like, a few more ways to enable the combo. So we did, first real quick, we did up the number of ops to 3. I felt like opt is actually a really important spell. It's our only 1 drop. It's always good if we can potentially cast on curve. So we did add another 1-drop. We did take out the wells. Didn't really feel like just scrying on turn 1 for 2 and then not getting any kind of card advantage till potentially turn 4 or even later was actually any good. So again, like we mentioned, we took out the dragons. We did just add the other 2 copies of Reckless Fireweaver. I do think in this particular version of the deck, this card is the same thing. We don't really want to have to rely on a 5 mana spell because we typically don't really want to ever have to just spend our whole turn by casting that dragon. So with this, we can actually just get the same effect whenever an artifact enters a battlefield, because all those Thopters are artifacts. We're going to be dealing 1 damage, and then again, it's the same effect as the dragon, but for only 2 mana. Now, the cards that you're going to notice here are different. We did cut 2 Draw from Dreams, but these are the 2 cards. We're adding 2 Words of Invention. Word of Invention, again, we want to focus on getting the combo out. Word of Invention, we're only playing 2. It has Improvise, so we can tap our artifacts that we need to, because potentially Decoction module in our deck doesn't necessarily, we don't care about the pay 4 mana. Yes, it does come in handy sometimes to be able to bounce a creature, which we saw in one of our previous games, but we really just care about that creature entering the battlefield. So this potentially is cheaper, and this goes and searches for any artifact in our deck, so we can search out Decoction module, Sculpting Steel, or Panharmonicon, based on however much mana we want to spend. And again, that would get us another combo piece. Also, we're going to try out Saheeli Rai. So Saheeli Rai is a great 3 mana planeswalker. So this is going to be good for multiple reasons. We could just drop it on 3 and start scrying, upticking. People do see Saheeli Rai as a threat, because as soon as you see Saheeli Rai, you think copy shenanigans. We need to deal with this immediately. So let's, deal with this right now, or we're going to lose. So Saheeli Rai is in here again for not only that reason, but also the reason that we just mentioned, regardless, for the whole copy ability. Because for -2, we can create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature we control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. That token gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step. Now, this is good for multiple reasons. So we can actually copy any of our artifacts, Decoction module, Sculpting Steel, Panharmonicon. We'll get a copy for the end of the turn. Or if we need to, we can actually copy a Whirler Virtuoso just to get in an attack. But what this also does, this nets us a 2/3 haster that we can attack with, but then it's also going to give us 3 energy. And that 3 energy may be the energy we need to combo off. And then potentially that 3 energy is also going to give us a blocker to protect our Saheeli Rai if we're not going to be comboing off. So we can get in for 2, we can make a blocker, and again, protect Saheeli Rai. I doubt the -7 ultimate is ever going to come into play. It does let us go get 3 artifact cards with different names, put them on the battlefield, and shuffle your library. That does immediately just assemble the combo, because we could Decoction module, Panharmonicon, copy one of them, and then just have the combo like that. But again, don't really think that's going to happen. But the copy ability from Saheeli Rai, because it just copies so many cards in our deck, it also copies Reckless Fireweaver if we need maybe an extra point or 2 of damage. So many different uses from our deck. And that's the deck. We noticed that Sulfur Falls were not being played in this deck. So we did put in 4 Sulfur Falls. We took out a bunch of basics. We're only playing 1 basic island now at this point. Don't really feel like we need to be doing anything else there. The reason for the 1 island as opposed to 1 mountain is because Word of Invention does cost 3 blue. Yeah, we do have double red, but we also have double blue on top of double red. So, we also have double blue and triple blue on top of the 1 double red spell that we have. So, yeah, this is the deck. So let's hop into our gameplays with this deck, and let's see if we can combo off in some different and fun ways, and maybe a little bit quicker. I don't know. Let's find out. All right. You guys ready for ROFL Copter? No, ROFL Thopter version 2. V2. Do it to it. Right. You get to go first. You just need a land and a Thopter maker. All right. Keeping this. If we can draw land, we have a Storm's Wrath too. What's our opponent on? Mono white life gain. Mono white life gain. Okay. I guess we're playing that. Could have tried to opt for a land there, but I don't think that's correct. Oh, we're going to be dead pretty quick here. We need a land. No, we need a land. Like, come on, deck. Are you kidding me right now? There we go. Alright, 2 cards. We are quite a ways from this. Maybe they don't have another creature, right? That's the dream. Maybe they're just like, you know what? This 1/4/4 is enough. Oh. Okay, we're dead really quick. Drawn from Dreams. It's not a land. It's going to go to the graveyard. That is a land. All right, are we about to be dead? Ooh, holy moly. Our draw needs to be now. It's all in this draw. All in this draw. Oh, man. All on that draw. Well, this blocks the double striker. But we still have to worry about taking 9, right? You're not an artifact for any reason. Got energy. Boom. Nailed it. All right, well, we got by the weird Watley deck, right? I guess they gained 10. I guess we should have just let the damage happen, and then we would have been at exactly 0, as opposed to -3, and not given them the satisfaction of overkill. So, yeah, that is not a good game 1, but hey, we got to see a pretty interesting deck. Next game. All right, let's get game number 2 in the books. Let's hydrate. Let's get ready for this. I don't know why why the image stuttered like that. All right, so we have a decoction module. Can opt into module into either Fireweaver or Saheeli Rai. I think we're going to keep this. This is a weird hand. The opt obviously makes it a little bit better. So Godless Shrine tapped. If they're on some kind of weird Esper deck with an interesting draw. Lands are pretty important. So we're just going to get down this decoction module. Oh, it's the discard deck. Discard, huh? Discard, discard. Alright, well, how much removal do they have? That was a good draw. Playing the Virtuoso really just might have been the right play there. This gets rid of the Davriel regardless, so maybe they cash it in. If they cash it in, I think we get rid of Saheeli.
Let's tidy up in there.
Basri Cat.
We are each a grain of sand in the same desert.
Okay, well. Oh, that was a good draw.
Now is the time to strike.
Don't really want Basri going crazy. So we get to make a Thopter and then Whir for 2. To put another module into play. Yeah, we're way fine with that, right?
Oketra's love is your shield.
3 goes to 2. Oh, well, had I known. Oh, this is just a creature anyway. Oh, I really just want to... I really don't care about this Basri. Do we care about Basri? I mean, it is a Planeswalker. You can get it off the board. Let's put this down, start pinging. This will be a target for our opponent. Definitely want to land. Genius is as genius does. All right. All right, let's scry. Well, we're going to be searching, so it doesn't really matter what we get, right?
I like to think fast.
All right, let's go for 2. Get another module in play. Oh, and this was literally the perfect draw. This Ether Hub. Literally the perfect draw.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
All right, let's make a bunch of Thopters. I don't know what the right number of Thopters to make is. Because they're going to have access to Wrath of God if they draw land. I'm just going to get up to 10 here. They're good gaming. Alright, we're done there. Let's see what they do, right? We can still bounce and copy. Don't think we need another.
Some lessons for you all.
Yeah, we're just gonna play it again. So they may have another kill spell. I don't know why they good gamed us when they potentially had an out. Alright, not gonna do anything there.
I know how to stop.
I really doubt this Saheeli Rise is gonna go the distance. Whenever it dies, amass 2. No, we're not going to do anything. Do we want another Decoction module? No, we don't. Not right now.
I see a weakness.
This Herald's going to come after Saheeli. We're going to kill it. We're going to draw a card. What an interesting deck. That was a great draw. That was a sick draw right there. Wow, that was a sick draw.
This may hurt a little.
Well, did not expect Containment Priest. So Saheeli Rise definitely getting hit. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of damage here.
Right to choose my own fate. And yours.
I will craft your demise.
I really don't care about your plans.
So if we play this, we could copy, get in some amount. No, we're not even. Do we even bother? I think we're just going to scry, right? That card is useless against our opponent now with the Wanderer in play.
I know how to stop you.
We have a bunch of energy. If they try to kill it, we can bounce it. We can also make a bunch of tokens in response. Again, what's the right number? Does this have lifelink? I mean, we have to make a ridiculous amount, right? In case they don't have a Wrath. But again, we don't know what that number is. They're at 7. I think 15 is the right number. So, and again, I'm not making tokens just to make tokens to be a jerk. I mean, we have to factor in different cards, you know, like Approach of the Second Sun, stuff like that, you know. So, I mean, we put that there just in case, right?
Do I have your attention now?
They have to keep hitting Wraths. They have to keep hitting Sweepers. They gonna make us do it again? I mean, we will. I mean, that's part of the game. But okay.
We're doing things my way.
All right, good game, my friend. Whew, that was a long one, but we did it. We did what we came here to do. Sweet. For the next one. All right, we are ROFL coptering away. That was quite a long game. And man, we keep saying, I feel like we keep saying ROFL copter, but we mean ROFL Thopter. Uh-oh, skulls. Where's the skull Z? Oh, we get to go first. No combo pieces. A couple reckless Fireweavers, though. What is our opponent playing? Probably colorless. Those are the Arcbound Ravager sleeves, right? We're going to keep this. Play the Sulfur Falls first. We don't have a 1-drop. It comes into play tapped. They're playing white. Okay. Oh, right on time, Opt. Right on time. Oh, okay. So they still are playing a colorless deck, right? I think we're going to keep this. Play this first. Really want to hit a land, which we do. Next turn. Okay. So what does Karn get, right? What does Karn get? I don't hate this. Please stop. Oh, well, that is good card. Forsaken Monument is a dumb magic card. Meteor Golem. All right, well, let's make sure they focus on the wrong card, right? But I feel like, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, 8 mana. They get to Ugin here? Yep. Ugin -2, because plus bolting. I don't know, bolting's still pretty good. It doesn't get rid of our search for Riscanta. Oh, that's fine. We play this, is just going to get bolted. I think we lose to colorless, my friends. I think we lose to colorless. Yep. Not gonna sit here and let them dirtle. Okay. Maybe. Maybe. They're trying to set it up here. And they get to start making I mean, we have to draw a lot of land, right? They're just going to pull the combo off with the God Pharaoh statue. Oh well, we're not going to sit there and just get dirtled to death. They kill us next turn anyway. Alright everyone, it is final boss time. I'm excited. Let's pull off some juicy combos here. Let's get it. Professor Mange. Alright, so does this hand do anything? We're gonna give it a shot. Okay, no turn one play. Makes me feel a little bit better about our keep. They are playing a red deck with Fabled Passage. This might be Gruul or Teamer. My initial thoughts are, I don't think this is just going to be mono red. Boros? Okay, so Gruul. Opt right on time, right? It's actually not a horrible draw here. I'm really just worried about a questing beast right here more than anything, I guess. And smooth our draw out a little bit before it dies to a questing beast.
Genius is as genius does.
Ripjaw Raptor. Okay. Cheap dinos, don't like it. Do they go after us or Saheeli? Because they can't kill Saheeli. Alright, let's go take a peek. Oh, that's exactly what we want, right? That's exactly what we want. Can we afford... I think we can. So we could Fire Prophecy. Draw. No, I think we're just going to... Then we don't really care about Saheeli at this point. We do need a Decoction module, which we get with Whir. No block. We're not going to put the Fireweaver in danger of dying.
Accept defeat.
Like a cheap burn spell. I would imagine they still have some kind of like dino fighting spell. Karuga? Holy. It's funny, I never realized that Karuga was a dino. I always just thought Karuga was a hippo. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is perfect. Right? So we get to blue, blue, blue. We get to Decoction module. We get to go get Decoction module for 2. They take a little bit of damage. Then we get to play Whirler Virtuoso. And we get to make a bunch of creatures. And we get to kill our opponent. Oh, good game, Professor Manji. Oh, that was literally just... That worked out just perfectly. Oh, wow. There you have it. Oh, that's why the Fireweaver is better, I feel like, in this deck than the Dragon. All right, well, let's head to the wrap-up and talk about this. All right, everybody, welcome back to the wrap-up. And so I feel like we crushed it with this deck. This deck's a lot of fun. So we went 2-1 with the original deck, as you can see here, this build. And then we went 3-1 with our version. So yeah, so this deck is super fun. Obviously, you could definitely see the changes that we make. There's a lot of changes that we made. We condensed it down. We found more ways to get the combo out. We got rid of the dragon. We put in basically a couple extra copies of Reckless Fireweaver. We wanted to focus on that aspect instead of the 5 mana aspect. We put in a couple Words of Invention. And then we put in 3 copies of Saheeli Rai. And I really feel like the Words and the Saheeli Rais worked out perfectly for this deck. Fire Prophecies were actually, pretty decent overall in the entirety of the 7 games. If I had to pick a card that or 2 cards actually that may not belong in this deck, but again, it's a very small sample size of games that we played, would be the Storm's Wrath and the Drawn from Dreams. Now, the Drawn from Dreams, in the first games, they may have been a little bit better because obviously we were playing 4. But I feel like in our games, the Drawn from Dreams didn't really do anything. So those 2 cards would be where we would start cutting if we were to continue to play this. Another card that we might just consider playing at one point, in this deck would just be maybe something like Maverick Thopterist. Maverick Thopterist is a 5/5, or I'm sorry, it's a 5 mana 2/2, but it has Improvise, and whenever it comes into play, you get to make 2 1/1 flyers. So it doesn't have the best synergy in this deck, but it's a way to kind of aggressively go after your opponent. So maybe if we were playing this in a best of 3, we could actually convert this into an aggro deck and put in cards that actually just kind of combo in with the Maverick Thopterist, or just artifact creatures in general. Maybe put in some like Chief of the Foundries or something along those lines. But I'm not too sure. We don't really play a lot of best of 1. So Hollowed One did have a sideboard. We never went over the sideboard in this deck again for the same reason as the fact that we don't play best of 1. If you were wanting to see it, they were playing Miscast, Confounding Conundrums, Negates, Abrades, Mystical Disputes, and Oxes. But again, since we don't play best of 3, we don't typically care about sideboarding unless we're doing stuff like Fae Wishes or stuff like that. But overall, though, this deck is really fun. This deck's kind of expensive to build in regards to the fact that you have to craft sculpting steels. These are mythic. These were the buy a box promo, so to speak, you know, for getting the 90-pack bundles. You got 2 of these for each 90-pack bundle you got, or you have to craft them. Saheeli Rise, not the best mythic, but, you know, it is something that you do have to craft. And then again, you know, a ton of rares. You know, you got Searches, Whirs, Panharmonicon, Storm's Wrath, Drawn from Dreams, and then again a bunch of lands. So yeah, but overall though, I think this deck is really super sweet. This was one of my all-time favorite, well, back when Kaladesh was legal, this was one of my favorite combo decks to play, the whole Decoction module, Whirler Virtuoso. But at the same time, we didn't have access to some of these cards, so we did actually play cards like Maverick Thopterist and the Inventor's Goggles and stuff like that. And then we just kind of, you know, went off on them with Decoction module after, you know, they were worried about the aggro plan, and then we got them from there with the combo of the Fireweaver and the Decoction module, Whirler Virtuoso. But I recommend this if you have these cards. You can dumb it down a little bit, you know, make it a little cheaper. You don't have to play Saheeli Rise. But I do feel like if you want this deck to be more consistent, you do want to play at least the Sculpting Steels. But you could look at just adding 4 Whir of Inventions if you happen to have 4 Whir of Inventions, because those are only rares. And then you could just rely on the Decoction modules and the Panharmonicons. So again, I feel like if you're watching my channel, you're probably going to have the 4 Panharmonicons. So maybe this deck is cheaper for you to build if you don't, you know, if you do stay away from the mythics, but I do feel like at least Saheeli Ride definitely adds to this deck. So again, thank you so much to Hollowed One for submitting the deck. Thank you to everybody for watching. And again, if you want to be considered for a Decktember video, please join the Discord, head down to the Decktember channel and submit your list using the template that is at the top. And if you enjoy the channel, please comment, like, subscribe, check out all the cool links down below. And, you know, if you just want to comment letting me know that you made it to the end of the video, that would be great. Let me know what you think about this deck as well. And, yeah, I just want to say thank you again for coming back to the channel and watching and allowing Decktember to be a thing. So thank you so much, everybody. Please stay safe. We will see you next time. Remember, this channel would not exist without such amazing viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for interacting with the channel and helping grow the community. And a very big special thank you to the Patreons listed here for supporting the channel.